Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's analysis, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the latest news and insightful discussions. Today, we'll be talking about one of the hottest topics right now in the Middle East, the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the U.S. imposing a blockade on Iranian ports, we've recently learned that Iranian-linked tankers have managed to cross the strait. This raises a big question about the effectiveness of the blockade. Is this strategy really working, or is it just a form of deterrence without real results? Let's dive into the analysis and discuss. Recently, BBC Verifies data showed that 4 Iranian-linked tankers crossed the Strait of Hormuz despite the U.S. blockade on Iranian ports. This raises a major question. Is the blockade truly effective? The U.S. claims to be blocking Iranian ports, yet it hasn't managed to stop these ships from crossing the strait. This shows a contradiction in the strategy, because it's clear that the blockade isn't being enforced as strictly as expected. According to Admiral James Burnell, a former Royal Navy admiral, the blockade isn't on the Strait of Hormuz itself, but on Iran's ports. This means ships can still pass through, but Iran's oil exports are facing restrictions. However, with 4 Iranian ships passing through without being stopped, the question arises, is the U.S. military capable of enforcing this blockade effectively? What's also notable is that civilian shipping companies are now avoiding the Strait of Hormuz due to the threat of attacks from Iranian forces. This means the blockade not only impacts Iran, but also disrupts international shipping. But is this strategy really effective in the long run? Or is it just creating instability without achieving the goal of halting Iranian oil exports? Another issue I find concerning is if Iran continues to attack civilian ships, it could lead to a major global risk. Not only would this affect the global economy, but it could also escalate tensions in the region. If the U.S. doesn't have enough forces to stop Iranian ships, how will it respond to maintain control over this critical area? Does the U.S. have enough power to control the Strait of Hormuz? Can the blockade truly be enforced, or is it just a political strategy with no real effect? If Iran continues to bypass the blockade, will the U.S. have a solid enough response? Or will we just witness an endless power struggle? Does the blockade on Iranian ports truly have long-term effectiveness? Or is it just a political maneuver to maintain dominance without concrete results? If Iran starts attacking civilian ships, what impact would this have on regional stability and the global economy? Could this be the beginning of a larger conflict? The situation at the Strait of Hormuz is incredibly complex. The fact that the U.S. has imposed a blockade on Iranian ports, but still hasn't managed to stop Iranian tankers from crossing raises serious questions about the effectiveness of this strategy. If the U.S. doesn't enforce the blockade properly, it may face unforeseen consequences. What do you think about this blockade strategy? Can the U.S. strengthen its enforcement to make it more effective? Or will Iran continue to find ways around it? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more insights and analysis. Thanks for watching.